After my second highest mileage week ever last week, I aim to kick on this week with a strong first half, followed by a slight down few days at the end so I can freshen up for the half marathon on Sunday. So that means once again we build on from last week's 4x5k with an even bigger session this week. So welcome back to another full week of training, 6 weeks to go, and this week is half marathon race week. And that of course means there's going to be a slight change up in the second half of the week, but this first half of the week right now we have got a whopper of a session. Well, it's coming tomorrow. Today is a nice 70 to 75 minute easy running strides, as it has been. I should be making it 80 today, but I'm running a bit tight on time, so I'll see how things are. I might get 80, who knows. Plan of attack this week: progress that 4x5k from last week up to a bigger session tomorrow, so we'll just keep improving that, and then second half of the week we will keep the volume but just back off on the intensity, and I'll use the half marathon on the weekend as effectively the second session of the week. But I do want to go into it feeling a bit fresher than I normally would, hence why there'll be no big session on the Thursday. It'll just be volume over anything fast, and that should allow the body to recover in time ready for Sunday. So gonna get this one done, and I'll see you tomorrow for the big session. So here we go, welcome to Tuesday. So today, progressing on from last week we had 4x5k, which is 20k worth of work. Small progression this week, same as last marathon block. We're moving up to 3x7k off of 3 minutes easy jog. Now the mission today is to try and start and finish the reps in the same place like I did last week for the 5k reps, just so they're symmetrical and I can get a good gauge on how I'm feeling and, you know, accurately see how things progress through the workout, if they progress or regress, whatever happens. Stand there, arms crossed, turn the other way. There is not an owner in sight. Don't know where he's come from, but that's slightly worrying. Here comes, shit. I'm a dog lover, by the way, but I always get nervous when they're on their own. So a quick intermission here, just going to wait to see if this dog goes a little bit further away, but the industrial estate's right up there and I kind of feel like I need to go and try and find the owner, so bear with me, I'll be back in a minute. Just going to keep it all on film though in case anything happens. Right, the road is there, he's there, so I'm a little bit worried. Right, I think he's gone up here, but I think his owner's around the corner somewhere. I've seen people walk out stations around here and I'm sure they're up around the corner. It's about trying to get in there. Well, there we go, that got sorted. Very grateful for that. Someone has just picked the dog up and taken it out to the local vet, so hopefully they'll scan it and find out who the owner is. So that has used up a good 10 minutes of my morning. So if you see the elapsed time is a bit different to the running time, you know why. He was very friendly in the end, but same time very grateful to have my camera on me. So just getting up to the start and we'll roll straight into this. Alright, 5:58 pace for that first one. My goal was actually same as last week, 6:02, 6:04ish for the first, and then see if I could cut it down, but I've gone 5:58. Most of that was sub-T heart rate, but I have thrown all the hills into this loop because I don't want to keep going back and forth too much, so it did creep up a bit. So the goal now for rep 2 is to stay as sub-T as possible, but except that I'll probably hit threshold, and then the last one we'll just try and survive. Really thought today was going to be a grind, but that one was 5:56, and I'm starting up here, going up and down to the college, and then all the way down, back up and down to the college, and that is a little stinger, that little hill up there, and up around here twice. But that last time I went up to the college, I felt really strong. So I'm just, yeah, just feeling good. Gonna get this last one done. Just, you know, it can all go south very quickly, but that's 14k worth of work banked really well. See if we can finish it off. That's on. Right, halfway through this last one, running 5:54 per mile. Heart rate is still sub T. It's spiking on the ups and the downs, but when it's flat, I'm just locked in and I feel so good. And I just want to say that summer of boring threshold work has paid off. Feeling good. So there we go, 5:54. I got cocky in that last rep and obviously recorded saying heart rate was still sub T, feeling good. And I felt good for the whole rep, but literally as I started to climb up the other side of the estate up here, which is obviously the net uphill side, heart rate just went boof. And I was like 168, 169, 170. So very similar to last week actually in the 4x5k. First two were sub T, third one was kind of basically threshold, and the last one was threshold and a bit more. I got the first two of these done, average, I'm gonna guess average sub T heart rate, and then this last one halfway through, so about 17k worth of work before it drifted right up. So really positive signs, feel really good today. And again, I said this last week, but you know you're feeling good when you're ticking along at 7 or 8 minute mile pace on your cool down. So I've been doing 20-minute warm up and cool down, as you can see there, 17.8 miles done. Might end up getting 19 done today or close to that, which is really good for a midweek. Yeah, very happy. Obviously got to keep in mind the race on Sunday, so we'll double tonight and then we'll start to ease off a bit. And just before you see how I pulled up after that session and the rest of the week, I want to say a massive thanks to SaySky for sponsoring this week's training series. I'm delighted to be partnering with them once again to be able to provide you guys with a 15% discount off their kit, which I will throw on screen now. FOD15 will get you guys a 15% off all SaySky items. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of SaySky kit and I'm delighted that I'm once again being supported by them. They have supported me a few times over the last few years and I am so grateful. As most of you guys know, I wear SaySky kit all year round, so I'm just delighted to have them on board with me. Their stuff is super high quality and I can't wait to race in it in just under 6 weeks time. We've got a couple of tune-up races as well, so I'll be testing out the race kit there, but of course you're seeing me wearing it in all of the training episodes so far. They've got some great upcoming collections coming out over the next few months, so if you want to grab a discount now, make sure you use FOD15 to get yourself 15% off. And once again, a massive thanks to SaySky for sponsoring this video.
Feeling great after this morning's run. Little tired, that's to be expected. Balls deep in training now. 8 weeks to go till having the marathon. And join us on the industrial estate of love in my bright yellow and orange Brooks. Make me go faster.
Come on, keep going.
Commentary's over. I said I wasn't going to do this anymore.
Okay, well, you probably just pretty much summed it up perfectly, so I'm going to cross over the road.
It's because we know what you're going to say.
So, welcome back to another run. Basically, you will never get a serious update when he's around, so I'm just going to get 4 or 5 miles done tonight. It's going to be a big old day today, and I'm not going to say anything else. See you Thursday. So on to Thursday, and this is the medium long run of the week. The GoPro charge was 17%, and when it gets that low, it only lets you record 5-second clips. So I'll give you a quick overview now so that you know what the plan was and how I've changed it. My goal at the start of the block was to do a mini taper this week. However, leading into this week, it was forecast to be a storm on Sunday. So I reluctantly changed my plans and was going to move the mini taper to next week for my 10-mile race. However, as the week has progressed, the weather has changed slightly, and although it's still windy on Sunday and I am running down by the sea, it's not as bad as originally planned. So I've moved back to plan A, and my 2-hour steady state run shifted down to a 90-minute run, and I kept it very controlled. I looped the cycle track so there's some decent elevation in there, but overall it's helped me feel a bit fresher going into the shakeout run. So welcome to Saturday, 30-minute shakeout and strides today to get ready for tomorrow. I wanted to give myself a fighting chance for the race, so I decided to take yesterday off. I had an extra rest day, so I've been training really well, really happy with how things are going, but my legs are heavy, and I said at the start of the block I wanted a good period of time this week or next week to really kind of just bring it down a notch, absorb everything, and then give a race a good go, because I wanted to treat it as a good effort, really hard PB attempt. Now it's helped, I feel better, glutes are still a bit sore, but legs are feeling a little bit more lively. I'm going to throw some strides in today, as I said, to really sharpen things up. So what is going to be the plan for tomorrow? So the first plan is a positive mindset. It all starts up here. So I train relatively controlled these days, a lot more than I used to in years gone by. And that's allowed me over the last 18 months, maybe 2 years really, since I've really had this change of mindset, to go and race hard. And here are the facts. Tomorrow it's going to be windy and it's going to be 19 degrees. It's quite warm now, so it's not optimal racing conditions. However, if I repeat that in my head, I'm giving myself an excuse to not run to my best. And all I want to do tomorrow is cross that line knowing I rinse myself. It's a good hard effort. I don't want to give myself reasons to have excuses. If the time is slower, as long as I've worked hard and I've got a positive mindset to go for it and I don't let that hold me back, I will be happy. So that's the first thing. Number two, I've made no secret, I am gonna see how good or bad the conditions are and realistically go for a PB. It's a fast course. I've been told it's a fast course. By the grass start and a couple of small railway inclines, it's flat. There's no reason for me to hold back. So I will go for it. I might blow up. As long as I go for it, I will be running in here strong. And number three, I'm going to pick the fastest shoes for the job. I think you can work out what they are. I had a great race in them 3 months ago. I'll save the other shoes for next weekend. As next weekend is now going to be more embedded into training, it's not quite so much of a, a target, whereas this weekend is. And for the rest of the day, I'm going to prepare now for the best I can. So tomorrow, positive mindset, strong run, fast shoes, prepare well today, turn up tomorrow in the best condition that I can, deal with whatever the weather is, and just absolutely rip it. That is all I want to do. So there we go, that is the plan. I appreciate you guys sticking around for this week of training. Can't wait to showcase the race with you. However it goes, I will give it my best. Just know that I'm excited. First race in over 3 months. It's been way too long. So if you enjoyed this one, guys, please do check out this video up here. This is last week's training in case you missed that. Or if you're curious to see a little bit more about the Metaspeed Sky Tokyo that I tested recently and you missed that one, check out this video down here. I'll see you guys over on one of those.